Losing Charlie.
There's one behind that thing on the like next to the train, mate. The little fucking signage thing. He's 67 off. He'll hide for a while now.
Got one. Capturing it. Nice ape.
Train. Hello and welcome to another Cherry Poppin episode. This time it's the turn of Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Phantoms. This is another free-to-play game, this time from Ubisoft, or Ubisoft, whatever you want to call it. And let's be honest, this isn't the first time I've played this game. Sure, it only came out on the 10th of April, and no, I didn't have early access or beta access, alpha access. But stop me if you've heard this before. But this looks exactly the same as Ghost Recon Online. And it is in fact Ghost Recon Online, just a rebrand of it. Frustratingly for me, what that means is I can't actually use my Ghost Recon Online account, and I'm stuck with using ShavedApe with an extra E on the end because ShavedApe with an E and ShavedApe with a 3 have already been used. I have no idea why that's the case, and perhaps if the developers watch this video, perhaps they can explain it to me. Now things have changed, the menu system definitely looks a lot more improved, but on the whole I got on fine with the last one, so they could have left it alone and I probably wouldn't have noticed if I'm honest. There are some additional features which are nice, but again, wasn't really needed. The maps that I have played, all 2 of them, aside from the colour changes here and there, well they look pretty much the same and certainly felt very familiar, that's for sure. I would have tried more maps by the way, but the developers once again forced the worst idea in online gaming history upon us, that being matchmaking. Okay, maybe it's not the worst, but it comes a close fucking second. Do you know what? Actually no, right now I can't think of anything I hate more in online games than matchmaking. I want to see a server browser, I want to choose my server by ping and maybe by player count, and you know, if it's not too much trouble, I wouldn't mind choosing the country it's hosted into. I don't want to sit in a lobby, and I really hate that word by the way. I didn't until now, but now I fucking hate it. I don't want to sit in a lobby and wait for a match to start only for some fucker to get tired of waiting and leave. And then we have to sit again to wait for enough players before the game starts. Now if I'm being totally honest and totally fair, this game does a better job than most, or at least in my experience. You know, it found me a game sometimes in less than 10 minutes, and at least once it found me a game in under 2 minutes. And because those games had actually already started, I could join them, so I could start playing straight away. I'm really not joking about the 10 minutes by the way. I used my stopwatch on one such occasion because I'd been sat there for a while and was thinking I've got to figure out how long this is taking because this is taking forever. So I set up the stopwatch and it got to about 8 or 9 minutes before I eventually gave up waiting for it to find me a game. Now upon instigating yet another matchmaking session, it then found one in under 2 minutes. So why couldn't it find me that game in the first fucking place? Server browsers work. 30 seconds or less to refresh, click join, 10 or 20 seconds later you're in the game. Simple, effective, why change it? It works so well. The game is meant to be played as a team, I get that. And as far as getting a team or a fire team together, the game's UI is very good at that. It makes it extremely easy, and so is playing with friends. So yeah, what they've done is good, but why can't I get a group of friends or a fire team together and then go and look for a server together using a server browser? As far as tactical shooters go, this one is good. It's much better to stay in cover and peek out and take a shot than it is to run and gun. And you expect people to do that. So, you know, when they do run and gun, it's a little bit of a shock, but more often than not, you can beat them anyway. There are 3 classes to play: Assault, Recon, Support. The guns can be upgraded using coins that are bought with real cash, or points that are gained just from playing. Grenades cost points, or coins, and of course, once you run out, you're going to buy some more, and you don't necessarily get enough points per game to pay for enough grenades, so be careful of that. You don't want to be wasting all your grenades all at once. And although I haven't had to deal with it yet, weapons will need to be repaired over time. And that again will cost you coins or points. There is nothing unusual about this way of doing things when it comes to free-to-play games. The game has to generate an income, not only to pay for the development, you know, it's got to pay for patches and ongoing development and servers. Yeah, they do still use servers. They just take the piss out of how they use servers. But let's move on before I start ranting again. Now, all that said, nobody is forced to pay for anything with their real money, and if they don't want to, then they don't have to. And trust me, I don't want to most of the time, so I won't. And if I feel like I'm being pushed in that direction, then I'll probably walk away rather than continue to play the game. That said, I may spend money on a game if I think it's a good game. So, you know, I've done it with PlanetSide, I did it with Loadout, and so on. I put money into games like free-to-play games, but I'll do it because I feel I want to do it, not because I was forced into doing it because I've got to repair the fucking gun or whatever. Now, this game, as you can see, is a third-person tactical shooter. It has multiple game modes, maps, loads of weapons and unlocks, and it even has a clan match system in there. It's an 8v8, which in this environment seems to work relatively fine, and it even has ladder rankings and player statistics. Now I'm sounding like I'm trying to sell you something here, and I don't want to do that, so I guess I will leave it here. But before I do, I will say this. I have played this game before under its own name, and just like before, I found it equally as enjoyable. Sadly, in the time I played this time round, I had matchmaking issues, weird crash that meant I had to restart because despite calling up my task manager, it was stuck underneath the game, and yeah, I couldn't end the task because I couldn't get the game screen to fuck off. Now, all that said, I still really like the game. It won't be my go-to game, you know, unfortunately, despite all its faults, I still love Battlefield. So I'll probably play that more than I'll play this game. And I do love Insurgency, especially recently. It just, you know, it's got that certain something, and it's a real tactical shooter again. I will, however, when I feel like playing something a little bit different, a little bit less kick your ass Insurgency style, because there's only so much ass kicking you can take in Insurgency, I'll play this one. And because it's good and it's free, and yeah, why not? If you want to play it too, you can do so. It's on Steam right now. Console guys, don't be surprised if you see it on PS4 and Xbox One in the future. I'd be very surprised if that doesn't happen, because a lot of these companies are realising there's a new revenue stream there. So yeah, I'd be amazed if they're not trying to port this one over to the consoles as well. I don't know, so you know, don't quote me on it, but yeah, I expect to see it in the future. As always guys, thank you very much for watching this rather extended video, because it turns out I had a little bit too much to say about matchmaking, so I apologise for that. If you have enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like it, and if you don't already subscribe, then feel free to do that also. I will see you later. Thanks again guys.
Massively improved.
One on the balcony above us.
Oh, I got hammered then. Tried rushing him with a pistol. Got a headshot and everything. Nicely done.
15 kills, 5 deaths.
Nice.